name's Carlos Montoya. I'm from Paterson, actually born and raised in Paterson. I am now the chef here at the Hamilton Mercado, here inside the art factory. It's a project that we started here a couple months ago, and really the intent with it was, or the purpose was to do something positive for the community here inside the art factory with all the creators and all the artists and all the people that are coming through here. And it's really grown. I think the community's really taken to us, and what I'm finding is an enormous amount of outpouring and support for what we're trying to do here. So we're pretty excited about it. I think that the design and the concept and really the idea for the restaurant, it came from being here every day. I think when you think back on the history of this building, you think of this corridor, you think back to the silk factories and what this was, and the amount of labor and the people that came here chasing that American dream, this being where this place is located. Walking through these buildings, or walking through these halls and walking through these factory floors, it really drew inspiration. And I always looked at the cafe as like a little diamond, and to me, it really just gave me the platform or the stage to take 30 years of restaurant and hospitality experience on a global level, be able to bring food the way we've learned it, and introduce culture and diversity, and be able to share it with people here. I think that for this community, it's something that's overlooked, and I think it's such a dynamic community that I thought it would fit in pretty well. The Hamilton is really looking back at the past. I think it's really important to know where we came from. It defines why people, I believe, were drawn to this city. In the beginning, there was always work, there was always prosperity here, and the Mercado is really looking towards that future. So it really ties us in with our purpose, which is we just want to do something positive for the community. The cafe here, it's really a surprise to people, and I enjoy that. I enjoy surprising people because they walk in and they see a cafe, and to me, what I really see is it's a kitchen, and it's a kitchen that what we try to bring every day is what we find in food, and what we just cook what we like, and we like to share our food. I think that within the cafe, what we're trying to do, or within the art factory, the first goal was to do something positive for the community, and now it's grown into where we can cater, and we can actually get involved with events on a big scale or on a small scale. So it started as a small project, and it's grown into this really big, like full service restaurant here. For us. And what I like to tell guests that when they come is the restaurant is inside the kitchen. So, there'll be tables that are, when you come as a guest, you're sitting inside with us, and we want to share that space with you. We want it to be a transformative experience. We want you to sit close to the oven. We want you to sit close to the dishwashing station. Why? You've never experienced that. And I think going back to that reference when I said the kitchen's beautiful, and the work that people do there there's passion, there's drive, there's discipline, but it comes at the value of time, and there has to be some sort of an acknowledgement to those people so that they feel that their time is well invested, and they're feeling something that is rewarding. And that's where we want to make that connection with people. So when you come in and dine with us, you're sitting in our kitchen. You're sitting, right next to our dish station. But it's intentionally built that way, and it's intentionally designed that way to change your dining experience, from what you normally know, where you're away from the kitchen. There's a disconnect, and with what we are looking to do, we want to have you as close as possible. We want you to be in our home. Like I tell everybody, mi casa es tu casa. But we definitely want to give them new experiences. We want to give them new flavors, and we want to do it in a way that, once you change the scenario, then I feel people are much more open to saying, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to worry about that the silverware doesn't match. I'm not going to worry about that, I'm using a kitchen towel as a napkin. It's intentionally built that way so that we can just focus on the food and the sharing of the food. I think food is sacred, and I think once you're sharing it and you're really, giving a person a new experience all around, it's transformative, and that's really what we try to do here. When we were looking at the design and that transformative experience that I keep referring to, we looked at the space and we said, you know what? Or I looked at the space and I said, nothing can be perfect here. Because in art, it's not perfect. It's an interpretation of somebody's expression, right? And that's perfect the way it is. You don't have to make adjustments. When we looked at things and we were looking through some of the storage areas, we came across all these vintage plates. Beautiful, beautiful vintage plates that, dishes that probably your grandmother used, and dishes that were probably at that Thanksgiving table when your parents were kids, having that Thanksgiving meal. Those are things that we thought were beautiful because we're pulling back to what was, and we're not forgetting where we came from, and we're just looking at like, hey, we can go to the future, but we definitely can't forget like where we are and what was here. And what we found in doing that is the plates are even more beautiful. It's a mix of plates, but every piece is a little jewel box. A little jewel box that's holding some beautiful food is how we look at it. The reaction that I always see from guests here when they come in, they don't know what to expect. They really don't know what to expect, and I like to think it's a little box of surprises, and it's something that us from the inside, we're really controlling everything that a guest is seeing, smelling, tasting. Like the whole experience is really what we focus on. The food is just there as a vessel, but we look at this as a stage, and every night it's a production for us, and every night we're really looking to have people come in and be blown away by the quality of food that we're putting up, or the dishes that they're getting, or just being able to find a place here in Paterson that is something that is new, and something that's fresh, and something that really pulls to a lot of different people and diversities and cultures. It's pretty amazing.
My name is Ed Rode, and I'm a custom woodworker. I design and build bespoke furniture here at the Art Factory. I've been a woodworker my whole life, I mean, literally forever, but only professionally for about 12 years. I had a studio in Fairfield, and I had been working all by myself for a long time, well, 8 years or something like that, and I wanted to work with other people that did the same sort of thing that I did, because I was looking for the collegial atmosphere, and the Art Factory sounded good, and sure enough, it fits the bill. I just like the vibes of the building. I mean, I like the history of it, the fact that it was hydro-powered for ever and ever. I mean, canals were routed out of the Passaic River into a big long slit that returned and back to the river, and all along there were factories driven by power. And I mean, even the history of the building really fascinates me. I said, like, okay, but what happens in the winter when that water freezes? And then they have these giant cold bunkers to power the factories. I mean, if you've been up on the 4th floor, you've seen these enormous steel wheels. Well, they had giant leather belts on them, driving smaller rods that had leather belts on them to each individual tool. And the tool user would engage a clutch, and that leather belt would tighten up, and bang, the tool would operate. And when he wanted to turn the tool off, he'd disengage the clutch. I mean, the whole thing is just really cool. I like the concept of the place. These old artisans that did the work building this place, I have a big respect for them. They were very bright. They didn't have today's technical tools. I mean, there are some hand-hewn beams in this place, for God's sake. The support structures are cables as big as your wrist. Somebody attached that with a wrench. I mean, that's not hydraulics. That's just real genuine ingenuity. I have a big respect for that kind of work. Yeah, and it inspires me too. I hope that one day skills like that are not completely and utterly lost.
My name is David. The name of my company is Visionary Artists, and I've been a professional photographer for over 25 years, starting with film and then going into digital photography. I'm a designer as well and a visionary, and my partner does cinematic video. So together we're a team, and we're just basically going to tell you your love story the whole day. How do we explain the Art Factory? It's like it's 18 buildings. It's been in the family, the owner's family, for years. He used to play in the buildings here, and now he's having weddings. He was the first wedding, him and Donata, in the Art Factory. So that explains it. The Art Factory has given me an amazing platform to show my talent. There's so much opportunities here. There's so much lighting, backgrounds. It's just an amazing place, which I would thank David and Donata for a great opportunity at the Art Factory. The styles I see at weddings are basically almost anything goes. People now are into having themes on their wedding, especially the Art Factory. This place is more eclectic and very artsy, so it brings a little bit of the untraditional styles going on. As far as fire pits and pizza trucks at your wedding and stuff like that, which most places don't do. Most catering halls are chandeliers and carpet. The Art Factory is completely different. It's more of an experience. You become a member here. You have use of the whole facilities, from wood shop to metal shops to making a music video if you want. It's just an incredible place. This building, group of building, or I should say campus, I believe there's 18 buildings. It's just amazing between the 18-foot windows, the beautiful light coming in that's basically lighting me right now on our interview. I'm big into natural light photography, where I don't have to use a ton of artificial lighting. It's more flattering on people. There's a reason why they film movies here. There's a reason why HBO is here, NBC is here, West Side Story was filmed here, the Equalizer show was filmed here. It's like Hollywood East, and that's kind of the nickname of this place. It's 12 miles from Manhattan. They get a lot of filming. What makes the Art Factory special for me is that when I come here, I know I'm working with everybody that I'm friends with, and it's a big team. If I need something, everybody who works here will help each other out. I can't emphasize that enough. It's kind of like one-stop shopping at the Art Factory. You have all your vendors here you need for your wedding. You have all your caterers here. We all help each other out for the bride and grooms to have the experience of their lifetime.
I hope that the Art Factory never loses sight that, as its name implies, it should be a haven for artistic-minded people that not just think artistically, but actually do. They make artistic ventures, as opposed to, I hope it doesn't devolve into simply a wedding venue and a bar mitzvah venue. I hope it maintains its art factory heart.
If we look at the future, and I've referred to the future of Paterson, how I see the future of Paterson is, very bright. But I think when you look at the future of the Art Factory, I think that there is going to be more of an awareness for the treasure that this is, as a facility in itself. But then when people really start to come in and connect with the artists and the creatives and the people that are doing things here, it just makes the space much, much more dynamic, and it becomes, I see it transforming from a venue to an attraction, where people would want to come back into the city and say, you know what, I need to go and see this space, and that's what I would like to see happen here at the Art Factory.